I went live on the same thing. I mean, both places at the same time. And I think I got the setup okay. I feel like this one's a little like close and a little weird. And there's that elephant again. But we're going to be by the fireplace again tonight because I don't know. I just like the ambiance. And now that makes me off center over here on Instagram. Hello, welcome to a live stream where it's always all about getting everything situated when you first get on. I feel like this one needs to come tilt down a little. That's going to make y'all tilt down. Is everybody still good? Everybody still see me? Let me know, Instagram people, is it blurry? Because maybe y'all tried to tell me at the beginning and I didn't see the comments, but like the whole live stream on Instagram last week was completely just like a fuzzball was in the camera. And I'm not sure what that was about. Maybe the connection was bad tonight. The internet was not working a little bit. Now it is. So hopefully it will stay working and we'll be good. What's up, YouTube? Instagram's over here. YouTube's over here. I'm going to look at the middle of y'all, I guess, and try to appear like I know what I'm doing. Okay. Oh shoot, the comment, hey, what's going on? It looks clear, not blurry. Okay. The comments like just stopped on Instagram for some reason. I was like, hello? Or am I here? Are y'all here? Can you hear me? Okay. All right, we're good. Clear? No, not clear. Clear? I think for the most part, we must be clear. Toilet time. Somebody, wait, are you my friend? You put me on the toilet and let me talk to you while you're in the shower. Awesome. It's funny because I remember people a lot of times by their comments and things they say, and I don't like take note of the name unless it's just a totally like obvious name. And I don't know why I didn't remember your name because it is like a different, unique name. Yes. Good. Put me on the toilet and I will talk to you while you're in the shower. Hello, 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 HGSH9811. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, from Long Island, New York. Long time follower. That's awesome. Long Island, New York. Is it like freezing up there? Didn't y'all have like a major storm or something like that? We've got the fireplace again, and it's nice and ambient. And I don't know what I'm going to do when it's not cold outside because I'm really loving the fireplace. It makes me feel so warm and cozy, and I'm so excited to be able to sit by the fireplace. It's amazing and fabulous. And I said this on my Instagram story a few minutes ago, but if y'all don't watch me there on Instagram, I just realized when I started this that I still have one of my earrings that I wore to church today that are like, this is just a t-shirt, like a casual t-shirt. And I never took them off. I do that. Do y'all do that after you like come home from work and you've got on all your like work clothes or your church clothes or whatever, and then you just leave on all your jewelry and kind of just forget, and then you look kind of weird. Anyways, okay. So Michigan, Atlanta, Ontario, Texas, Long Island iced tea. That'd be great. If somebody wants to bring me one of those, that'd be fabulous. Dominican Republic. No way. That's so cool. Minnesota. Hey, I got a bunch of Minnesota swag. Thanks, Holly Adams, for sending some cool Minnesota shirts. So, oh, hey, Holly is here too. Look at that. California. My hair's looking good. Thanks. And my teeth are white. Look at y'all are just being all nice and complimentary. I appreciate it. I did wash and dry my hair today, and it's not humid here right now. See, if I lived somewhere where it wasn't humid, my hair would look a lot better all the time. I've kind of been debating because it's at that length where, you know, it's like doing this when it sits on my shoulders. And I've always liked my hair long, but then I kind of enjoyed it. I mean, it's only been like a month since I got it cut, so it's not like it's grown that much in that amount of time, but it's just a weird place where I'm like, do I make it a little bit shorter so that it hangs better? Or do I just let it keep growing? I don't know. My hair is a whole different thing, and that's definitely not the title of this video or what we're going to talk about. But it's just something that's on my mind. So I was thinking about it as I was looking at myself in the camera going, what do I got to do with all this going on right here? Everybody's been saying that they like the hair, my hair short. So yes. Holly is trying to push through that stage of hair until it grows. Yeah, it's a struggle to determine what to do. So I think I'll probably maybe leave it short-ish like this for a little while it's kind of, I've got like some damaged hair and things from just summertime always kills people's hair here in like down here where we're swimming and doing all the things. I don't even know why I said down here, but you know, summertime when you're in the chlorine and stuff. So there's always a little bit of repair from that. And then I'm not really sure what happened. My hairstylist and I were talking about like what the deal is. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm working on healing my hair and getting it healthier. So yeah, the extensions, I don't know if they actually hurt my hair. I talked about this in the vlog one time. I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but like I didn't have extensions like on the parts like right here where the hair at the end of that is damaged. So I'm not really sure. I don't know. I don't really know how that would have happened. So anyways, the hair is like, I could probably make a whole hour-long live video talking about why I think my hair is the way it is and what I need to do to it, and probably never come to a solution either. So we'll just kind of skip over that. I hope y'all have had a great weekend. We have had a good weekend too. It's been like kind of the calm before the storm-ish, except there was a lot of stuff going on this weekend, but it was kind of not holiday party, family gathering, cooking, presents, all the things yet. Have you ever done a perm? Oh, yes, a long time ago when I was younger. And yeah. But now my hair is a little bit naturally wavy. But what did we even do? Friday night we had date night. Saturday we had Gaines and I and Brooks went to a little 4-year-old friend's party, and that was super fun. If y'all didn't see my picture on Instagram, it was so cute. It was so cute. And her little friend Averly, it was just the cutest little party, and Elsa was there, so it was fabulous. We did that, and then a Saturday night took care of some stuff around the house today. We went to church, and the kids napped. I got a little nap. It was like 30 minutes, but it was still a good little power nap. And oh God, I get so distracted reading y'all's comments. I'm like, what did you say? And then we have a brand thing that we're working on. So y'all stay tuned for that because it's going to be really cute and fun. So we've been doing that. But we also just like did stuff with the kids this evening when we were done with work and stuff. Gaines and I played a matching game, like a Minnie Mouse little matching game. And she like completely beat me so bad because she's got this photographic memory like Cullen does. And the final score was she had 12 matches and I had 6, and I did not let her just win. Like I didn't just let her win. There are a couple little things, but basically she just did it. But y'all have to stay tuned for the vlog to see what else happened. It might have ended up with some painted fingernails and toenails, and we just have to see. That should be up tomorrow. So yeah. Anyways, what's up? I just saw potty training. Like you see comments and you catch like one little word. I'm like, oh, potty training. No. Okay. So, what was my video? Thursday was a bit of an emotional video, and I so very much appreciate all of y'all's amazing, sweet, wonderful comments. Y'all are just the nicest, and I appreciate it so much, and I appreciate you not just telling me I'm completely crazy, because as much as I know that like everything is different and people's like mind processes and everything are different, it's hard going through something that is just a complete, I don't know, it's nothing that's ever happened to me or like that I've been through, I guess I could say, in my life, where I kind of have a complete realization of sorry, there's squirrel. I get so distracted. One of the fish is just like laying in the stream of water coming out of the thing. Like he likes to lay under the waterfall and get a massage or something. And so I was like, is he dead? What's he doing? Okay. I'm sorry. Going through something where you have like a complete mindset shift or like a change in the way you think about things, or something you realize about your thought patterns and the way you've been thinking about life, the way you've been approaching things in life, approaching people and approaching relationships is kind of just weird and backwards. And like, there's some things that just aren't good. So that's a hard thing to go through. And I think I talked about a few videos ago, basically this whole time, I've talked about how one of the books that I've listened to is one of the Codependent No More books. There's Melody Beattie is the one who wrote them, and there's the first one that's Codependent No More. There's Beyond Codependency, and there's The New Codependency, and they're really great. And it's something that I didn't even realize, like, I don't know, something I didn't even realize was a thing until I started reading about it, listening to it. And then I was like, oh, wow, this is interesting. Like, what is going on with my life? And so it's just been kind of eye opening. And I think it's so funny because I've told all this too, but like the way this all kind of got started was I read Rachel Hollis's book, Girl Wash Your Face. And in that book, she addresses like lies that you've believed about yourself that have like, held you back or caused stress in your life or whatever. And kind of like debunking the lies about yourself or getting past them and how to, kind of deal with all that. And as, I listened to it and realized some things, I was like, man, there's a lot of stuff. So, anyways, that's kind of what started it. And then I kind of got going down this road and am just really changing a lot of everything right now. So, I posted about my Enneagram. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Y'all will have to tell me if I'm pronouncing it wrong or right, but it's one of those words you've read multiple times in your head and then you just kind of continue to say it that way and you're not sure if it's right or not. But Enneagram, is that right? Enneagram is like a personality test type thing that you can take free on the internet. And shoot, I meant to post the link. I don't know if I can post it like while I'm doing live stuff. I don't even know what it is. Like off the top of my head, I just Googled take the Enneagram free. Am I saying it right? Is anybody answering? Come on, somebody has to know what the name of this book is. I mean, the name of this book, the name of this test is, and how it's pronounced. Oh yeah, Melody Beatty does have the language of letting go. It's not on Audible, so because it's daily meditation, so it's kind of like a daily thing. Okay, this is like a personality test type thing that is really insightful. A lot of people have recommended on my videos. They were like, oh, you have to take this test. You have to watch take this and like see what you are. And it'll explain so much. It changed my perception of myself and how I handled things. And I was like, okay, well, fine. Let me look it up. So when I looked it up, I was like, okay, this is going to be something I'm going to like have to put in all this information. Well, no, the one I found, I was just like, take the Enneagram free. And when I went and took it, I didn't have to put in my email address or anything. This is not like sponsored. Actually people wanted me to take it. So it took maybe 10 minutes or so. And I was a type 6, which if you saw the thumbnail of the video, that's what that was referring to. I was a type 6. And it was just like, what? So many things that were like directly related to how I like am and how I, down to the smallest of things that I was like, no way, this is not even right. Like there's been, you take these little different things across your life or these little tests about like, tell about if you're this or that or the other. And it'll be like, well, mostly true, but then there's some things that it's not. But it was so dead on. And shoot, the screenshot I took is on my phone and my phone is doing Instagram. So I can't look at it right now. But I know one of the things was talking about how like as a type 6, your first response is to think of the absolute worst thing that could happen. And planning for that, not just going down the road of like, oh my gosh, this is so terrible. This is going to happen and I'm going to die and everything's going to be horrible. But kind of like when something comes up, you plan for, if this happens, then what am I going to do? And am I pronouncing it right? Nobody has still told me. Maybe y'all don't know. But I was like, yes, I totally do that. And there was something which I guess maybe I shouldn't say it because I don't know if there's children watching this. This is not inappropriate, but it's just something you might not want your children to find out about. Not about me personally, but about like their life and things. Let's see. So let me try to think of a better example. So there's just certain things that I go ahead and start planning for with not just myself, but my kids, like what's going to be, we're going this place or we're doing this. What's going to be like the worst thing that can happen? Oh my gosh, how am I going to handle that? Like I already am thinking about when my kids are in school, what am I going to do if they come home and they talk about this, which I think some of that's kind of natural. But I don't know. It's it's kind of hard to explain. I don't know. I'm like, maybe there's a way. I don't think they emailed it to me. I didn't enter my email address or anything. What is this? Can we hold on just a second. Let me just, bye. I need to have a moderator on here or something because I don't know how to get rid of people that are being crazy. Okay. So basically, talking about how as a 6, you're going to plan for the worst things that happen. You're also going to have a hard time trusting other people, trusting in general. And I was like, hello, I am literally working on a shirt called Trust Yourself because I have a hard time trusting other people, trusting myself. Basically, that's in me as a person. I don't know. It was really interesting just reading it and being like, oh my gosh, this is so true. And it's not things that you necessarily want to be. I'm like, I don't want to be distrusting of people. And you spend time wondering. And I mean, of course, as with my psychology background, I'm like, so are these things that have created this personality and this thought process in me? Is it my nature, or is it just from experiences, or what is it? And, obviously, most likely it's everything all put together into one. But there was a specific way. I wish there was a way to pull this up, but I'm going to kill the live video if I pull it up. I wonder if my photos are on my computer. I can look and see if they're there. But, oh, you know what? I could just look up the description on here. Let me see if I can go here without pausing y'all. Am I still live? Hopefully I'm still live. Let me see. Enneagram type 6. Y'all just be patient with me here for just a second while I'm looking this up. Okay, it's called the Loyalist, committed and security oriented. And that was one of the things that I saw said how as a 6, you want security and you want to know that everything's going to be okay. So basically you're thinking about the worst case scenario, but you're like, if I can just get some reassurance that things are going to be okay, and just needing things to be kind of predictable, not invaded on, know what's coming up and be able to plan for it. And that's so me. As much as I'm kind of really terrible about planning ahead in general, I'm not always great at planning things, but mentally planning. I've even told several people in the past month or so, I'm like, I have to mentally prepare myself for certain interactions with certain people or certain situations. And I don't do well if it just happens. Okay. So 6 is most loyal to their friends and to their beliefs. Let's see. So when they're loyal to ideas, systems, belief. I see a lot of y'all saying that you are type 6s also. I saw a bunch of that in my comments and on my Instagram responses. Let's see. They're so loyal to the reason they're so loyal to others is that they do not want to be abandoned and left without support, which is their basic fear. So that a bunch of the heart of it is based in this fear of either things happening or the being abandoned or left without support, I guess, and kind of just imagining the things that could happen. A failure of self-confidence. They believe that they do not possess the internal resources to handle life's challenges, and a big word that I don't know, alone, and also increasingly rely on structures, allies, beliefs, supports outside themselves for guidance to survive. Just so many things. They worry a lot. They tend to fear making important decisions, although at the same time, they resist having anyone else make decisions for them. Oh my goodness gracious, that's so me. So what are y'all? If you have taken this test, what are you? Because I would be interested to know. And I should have posted the link beforehand so you guys could have taken it. But so many people wanted me to take it. I was like, okay, sure, let me do it. And I will tell y'all all about it. But anyways, it was interesting. And I think it's been interesting to kind of read that and put it in perspective of what's going on right now. Because last week I talked about how I was kind of just discouraged. Sometimes you have those weeks. And as I was kind of sitting there dealing with all of my stuff in my head, I was like, I really need to listen to one of my books again, listen to one of the codependent books. And if any of y'all have listened to any of them, and if it's something that you struggle with, it's something that is presented as any type of like, I guess it's kind of presented in the same way that addiction is, as far as like the cycle of it. That when you're like, you realize that it's a problem, you start to try to change some things and change the way that you handle things, change the way that you do things. And then there's also like relapse and things creep back in, or there'll be situations that kind of trigger you to go back into the mode of the codependent behavior, which if you have no clue what I'm talking about, I don't know. I'm like, it's hard to explain. I actually heard recently, not too long ago, I don't know, it may have actually been like a week or two ago. Rachel and Dave Hollis on their podcast, I think it was, or live stream, were talking about codependency and talking about how they both have been recovering from codependency, which is like the way that you talk about it. Just like if you're a recovering alcoholic or you're a recovering drug addict or whatever it is, it's a recovery process where you're having to relearn stuff. You get like totally down a different path and kind of forget where you're going with the whole process of recovery and changing your mindset. But so they were talking about it, and I was like, it's a hard process to change something in a way of being that you've been your whole life. And it's not necessarily, and I've talked about this in some of my videos, it's not necessarily just like being dependent on other people for things. But as I said a couple videos ago, making decisions based on what you think other people will think, or what you kind of relying on somebody else to kind of make your decisions, in a way. And that was something I was thinking about yesterday too. And I was like, one thing that I've learned is you kind of have to be, you are fully capable as a person of making your own decisions. Now, most people, I mean, obviously kids, if you're like a young child or something, then you need your parents to help you make decisions. But at the point in your life where, you're a grown adult, you are living in the world, and yes, it's great to have other people's opinions and other people's thoughts and whatever else on your situation. But a lot of times that can get really confusing. And especially for somebody who tends to not be confident in their own self, it's really hard to, it's just really hard to not take somebody else's opinion as gold. If you think that you're never right, or like you're just not confident in your beliefs and whatever you think is right, you feel like you always have to have somebody else's opinion. And I feel like I've said recently to Cullen several times, there'll be something that comes up and I'm like, I just, I'm not sure, like, what am I supposed to do about this? And then I'm like, okay, never mind. I can make this decision myself. Cause then I'll get into like explaining, well, and then this happened. And then I said this, and then I was going to go buy this. And like, what do I do? And just realize like you can make this decision yourself. Based on what you know, and trusting yourself to do what's right and make the right decision. I mean, it's a concept that's kind of foreign to me, which is weird. I think most people kind of do just make their own decisions, and I don't know, maybe I'm the only one. But no, I see other people. Mary Jo said, yes, this is so me. It drives me crazy. So, I mean, I've seen a lot of other people saying, Camper for Life 22 also said, this is so me. I think, and I talked about as well, how it was not even just big life decisions. Everything, like even little decisions, I was basing them on what I thought somebody else would think or somebody else would do. That one, Hannah said, second guessing is one of those things I automatically do. Like, yes, actually, automatically second guessing everything, every choice. And I realized that it just sometimes makes it way more complicated to ask for somebody's opinion on something that they just don't know the whole background. Like, you start bringing somebody else into helping you make a decision, or, you go to somebody, which, a lot of what I've said sometimes is, talk to somebody about it, and confide in somebody, which is important. It's important to have support. It's important to like just get other people to it's important to have other people be there for you. But there's a difference in having somebody be there for you and having somebody be like, okay, well, you need to do this. This is what you need to do. No, that's not gonna work out. You need to do it this way, and this is what's gonna fix everything for you. Because unless they are actually you, which there is no one else, by the way, that's actually you, or unless they are God who knows everything and is part of your life, they do not have the tools to make that decision for you. They do not have the tools. I don't care if they are your best friend who you talk to for 2 hours a day, or they're your husband who you see 24 hours a day, or your mom who you've lived with forever, or your dad, or your sister, or your brother, or your Aunt Susie down the street. It's just, they don't know everything. Like, it's especially hard with things that are related to your everyday life and you're trying to make a decision, or even if it's a conflict that you have, like with your spouse or with a friend or with your kids or whatever it is. You can tell them, you can spend forever telling them the whole story and all the stuff, but they don't see both sides of a story, and they don't see what exactly is going through your head, or what was going through your head at the time, or kind of what got you to the place you are. And I think I've always just felt like it's not okay to make a decision without consulting somebody else. And having the freedom to just make a decision is like, I just made that decision and looky there. How about that? It's crazy. If any of y'all have ever been through this, you'll totally know what I'm talking about. Renee said, I have zero confidence in making choices. It's the hardest thing for me. Let's see. I'm the same way making decisions about things with my child, and I always second guess myself. Let's see. Alexis, you said you might be too young to fully understand, but have some issues too. So grateful for you. Thank you, Alexis. And, it's one of those things, always plan for what's going to happen in the future. I don't know that anybody's necessarily too young to kind of start. You may not understand exactly all the stuff that I'm going through or that I'm talking about, but it's never too young to start understanding that. I don't know how old you are, because you said you're too young, but if you're like a minor living at home with your parents, yes, you do kind of have to do what they say, and you have to like follow the rules and all that. But it's never too young to start realizing that even though you might have to follow the rules, you still can be your own person, and you should be able to make some decisions on your own within reason, if that makes any sense. Let's see. Oh, I was just reading a comment and it disappeared. Where did it go? This sounds so much like me. This is Jennifer. It could be the smallest thing. For example, deciding how much to put in gas, or what to buy from the grocery store, what to cook for dinner. Yes. Like, literally, that's a great example of a really small thing. Like, so how much should I put in the gas tank, or whatever, or what, it's like, it has to be, I don't know why, but it has been an interesting experience learning to be able to make my own decisions. We actually talked about in church, it was really interesting today, in our like small group that we met with, we talked about contentment and being able to, how the world is always kind of wanting more. You're always like wanting, the next best thing, and, what you have isn't good enough. And you as a person may not feel like enough. And I feel like that a lot of times. And I think that leads into those feelings of not being able to make your own decision, is like, well, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. My opinion's not good enough. My decisions aren't good enough. My sense of taste for the dinner is not good enough. My sense of style is not good enough to pick out the clothes, or to pick out the decorations for my house, or to pick out my toenail polish, or whatever. And yeah, actually all the time I'll ask Helen when I leave to go get my nails done, what color should I get? Which, some of that is just fun stuff. And you're going to ask somebody like, oh, what should I do about this? And I'm not saying you should never ask somebody about things, but yes, contentment and happiness and how to be content with what you have it's something I feel like a lot of people struggle with right now. And part of what got me thinking about what I've kind of just been basing a lot of this on is, you can have a really bad situation going on. You can have something terrible that's happened. And you can't let your entire life be defined by that one thing. And I think in my life, that's something that I've always had a hard time with. If something bad happens, if, there's, even if it's down to like, I did really bad on a test, or if it's as serious as, there's like some major drama, or like a relationship, like broken up with a boyfriend, or, whatever it may be, that kind of just brings down your whole life and makes you feel like nothing is going right in your life. Or you start to focus on all the little things that aren't going right. It's like, oh, well, this happened. And then also this happened. And also this happened. And yes, you do have those days where everything just goes wrong and nothing goes right. And you just want to go cry. And that is fine. But you got to pick yourself back up from that and look around and realize that there are so many other things to be grateful for in the moment. And I think that answer to having contentment is gratitude and being thankful and grateful for the things that are going right. And so that's kind of what I have tried to really work with myself on. And like the example, as we were talking about it in our small group today, our teacher was like, you're in a situation where maybe your spouse has like cheated on you and left you for another person. And that's obviously devastating. And in that situation, you just have to, obviously take a minute and be upset about it. That's kind of a major deal. So I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just saying, in order to like make it through the day, if you just kind of sit and like wallow in your sadness and your guilt, there are definitely days for that. And it should definitely be done. You should be allowed to sit and cry and have the emotions you want to have, but you got to pull yourself out of it or you're never going to get anywhere. And understanding that the situation you're in right then in that moment isn't where you want to be. It's not where you thought you'd be. It's not what you want your life to be in that second, but it's where you are right now. And there's things around you to be grateful for. You don't have to stay where you are right now. Like, you don't have to accept it in a sense of like, oh, well, this is my life. I guess it's just always going to suck and I'm always going to be alone. That you don't have to stay there. You can take it and make the best of the parts you have and put yourself into some projects and doing some things that are helpful for you, that are things that you want to focus on, bettering yourself, for your kids, for your family, whoever it may be for, and knowing that you're doing your best to kind of improve things, but that you're happy with where you are right now, if that makes sense. Okay, let's see. Jennifer says, I also feel bad if I treat myself to something that's not a need. I bought myself 3 shirts. And once I got home, I'm like, I should return them because I felt guilty. I drive myself nuts. LOL. Yes, I totally get it. Driving yourself nuts. And that's hard. And I think we feel like we can't do things or buy things for ourselves. That's something that I've gotten better at over the years. And I still will be like, oh, I shouldn't buy that because I know we need to buy this or that. And, you're not necessarily going to go out and spend money on just loads of money on yourself. That's not healthy either. But you have to like think about it logically and trust yourself that you bought 3 shirts. Like, you didn't say you went out and bought a brand new car, like you've got to sometimes just think about it in the relevancy of like, it's 3 shirts, I don't know, maybe they're $200 shirts. So if that's the case, I guess I'd probably need to know your budget to know how you should feel about that. But no, it's your decision to make and you're the only one who can know. And you have to trust yourself that you're not relying on anybody else to make that decision for you. And you got this. You're fine. Holly Adams, thank you for the super chat. She said, yes. I struggle with being content on where God has me in life. And that's kind of what we were talking about. And just trusting that God is working in the ways that will bring you to where you need to be. And I don't think there's ever like a where you need to be. I don't think that's a place. Like, I think it's always a process. And for your entire life, you're going to be going towards where you need to be. But I just don't know that anybody, maybe people do, But I don't know that it would be healthy to get to a point in life and be like, all right, well, here I am. I made it to where I want to be. Because like we were talking about today, that's when you struggle the most with contentment, because you're like, well, what is there now? Like now I'm looking at, I've gotten to where I need to be, but I could be doing that. Like that would be really cool. And that's not always a healthy attitude to have. And you could just kind of sit for a moment in where you need to be and enjoy it and appreciate it. But you also have to appreciate that you're in that place so that you can another time be in another place, if that makes sense. Sometimes the things I say don't come out the way that they are in my head. And I'm like, I don't know if that even made sense. They were from Walmart, girl. See, I knew they weren't $200 shirts, or you wouldn't. You're fine. You're fine, but I totally get you. Okay. On it. Thanks, guys. Oh, shoot. I don't want to block the wrong person. How do I do this? I think. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So that's kind of what's been on my mind and on my heart this weekend, is not letting it ruin something that happens, or something little, big. You like stubbed your toe or you got a speeding ticket. I wouldn't know anything about that right now. Anyways, we won't talk about that. But whether it's one or the other of like a large, major life issue or a small thing, understanding that that doesn't define your life. That big, major, negative thing does not define your life, because there's a million other positive things that you can focus on and that you can build on. A lot of like what Holly Adams said too, as far as like trusting that God has you where you need to be in your life, is a hard thing. But it's something that I've given this example like 3 times talking about different things this weekend. But I think a lot of times when people say, you just need to trust God, you just need to believe that God's going to get you there. Well, I fully and truly believe, I'm a Christian, and I fully and truly believe that God will get me to where I need to be. He'll help me with what I need to be helped with and all of those things. But I also believe that he expects us to, I don't know. I don't want to say this in the wrong way. And I don't mean that, because then, okay, that was our small group. Then our sermon in church today was about how we don't have to do anything to earn God's like approval, God's love, God's helping us, blessing us, all that stuff. We don't have to do anything to earn it. But the example that I heard recently was, there's a man in a boat and he's out fishing, like a little small fishing boat. And he sees that there's a big storm coming, and he starts praying like, oh God, please save me from the storm. Don't let me die in the storm. He sees this, it's getting crazy out there. So he's praying and he's like, I heard God say, I'm going to save you. So a big yacht drives by and they're like, hey, there's a big storm coming. Come get in our boat. And he's like, no, I'm good. God's going to save me. So then they're like, okay, well, whatever. And so then another large boat comes by and they're like, hey, get in our boat. Come on. And he's like, no, I'm good. I'm good. God's going to save me. Don't worry. He told me I'm fine. And so he ends up dying in the storm. And when he gets up to heaven, he's like, hey, God, what happened? You said you were going to save me. And he said, I tried to save you. I sent 2 boats to rescue you and you didn't go. So kind of take that the way you will. Sit on that for a minute. I think God will totally do what needs to be done in your life and save you from the things that you need to be saved from, or help you make the decisions you need to make. But you do also have to trust and listen to when he's maybe sending somebody else to help you. You have to be able to accept the help. And I mean, it's not like, okay, well, that means that I need to go like give all my possessions away and go save a bunch of people. And now that, some people do that, nothing against that, that's fine. But I'm not saying that, you have to kind of like do these things to earn it, but just that I think God sends us different ways of solving problems and getting out of situations, because that teaches us to kind of trust and rely on our faith in him, having faith that what he's sending us is helpful. If that makes sense. Let's see. God also sometimes helps you save you from yourself. A lot of times we are our own worst enemy. And that is like seriously where I am right now. Hearing you say that like that, I'm like, kind of what I'm going through. Like I've been my own worst enemy and caused like chaos in my brain about things. Obviously there's always going to be other people and other things that can affect your life, but you can't let them run your life, if that kind of makes sense. So got a little deep here, guys, at the end. But oh my goodness. And it is, yeah, we need to be wrapping this up. But if anybody has any questions or things as we're wrapping this up, I could spend a few more minutes. Joy says, I think a lot of that comes with age. I used to be exactly like you. I was worried about someone else would think. Now, not so much. And it's interesting because I've always kind of been like, you shouldn't want to worry about what everybody else thinks. Wear what you want to wear, or like look how you want to look. And I felt like I could do that, but it was like a surface, don't care what other people think. It was a surface, don't care what other people think. But then internally, I would still be questioning stuff. And I would still not only just be not doing something because I worried about what other people thought, but it would affect like just my mood and my everything. I don't know. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying. Okay, let's see. Cheryl, I lost a baby in 2007. At first I didn't understand why, but as time went, I knew God had a reason for it. I'm so sorry to hear that. That is incredibly hard to go through. But it sounds like you've been able to turn the corner and have a good perspective and be able to get through it as much as you can. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to let this be the end. And if anybody has Thanksgiving week off, oh my gosh, it's Thanksgiving week. If you're in the US, who's excited? I'm excited. It's Thanksgiving week. And the kids are out of school all week. We've got a lot of stuff going on this week. We're having family pictures made this week. Oh my goodness. If you are a family and have had family pictures made, you know that sometimes you lose your dadgum mind. And so we're going to try not to do that. This is like later this week. And I was actually like getting outfits together tonight. I'm working on my planning ahead skills in life. So I would love to know what y'all are doing for Thanksgiving, what your plans are. I always love to hear about that. I always ask it in the vlog every time. I'm not going to be able to stay around here for much longer. You're welcome to put it here, but I might not see it. Our vlog will be going up tomorrow. Leave me some comments there. Go leave them on my Instagram. Send me DMs on Instagram. I love to connect with y'all and let me know what your Thanksgiving plans are. It is going to be a great one. We can all get through it. We can. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you'll have a wonderful week and a great Thanksgiving. And I will see you later. Bye. Except for those of y'all on Instagram, because y'all get to see the end because I don't know how to end both at the same time. And